So I did end up getting you something.
Yeah.
So do you want to grab it? I'm talking to the cameraman. Open it.
We
talked about this too.
Oh, man.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Social Exchange Project.
We got Key WAV.
And this is your host, Shanglar Waldinger. And today I do have, for the first time, a co-host who has been a friend for a couple of years, and his name is Ryan. I don't know if I can say your last name right.
Hycnar.
Hycnar.
It's a tricky one.
Yep. And so I met Ryan because I am really good friends with his wife, and now we're like really good friends too. So do you want to say hi to everybody and introduce yourself?
I am Ryan Hycnar, as mentioned, and I do like retail merchandising for work, and I like just hanging out and having fun. And
He's funny. I think you're really funny.
Hilarious and humble, as I mentioned. So.
And today we have an amazing guest. I've known him for a little bit now, and I actually knew him through doing the podcast. And he works here. His name is Paul Hetke, but he's got a couple aliases. I would say Key P was how I knew you first.
Yeah.
And now it's Key WAV, right?
Yeah, it's Key WAV.
Key WAV.
Yeah.
And basically you're an audio engineer. You produce music, you do vocal presets.
Yep.
And you basically do content creation here at Ivy as well, right? Do you want to say hi and kind of introduce yourself?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Paul Hetke. Now I'm Key WAV. I used to be Key P, as she mentioned. I changed my name for a couple reasons, just because WAV, W-A-V with no E. It's a high quality file format that people use to upload music with.
Oh, nice.
So I decided to go with that. I used to be like Beats by Key. I changed my name a lot of times. So I used to be Beats by Key. But
You've evolved a lot, is really what you mean.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So I just used to do like solely producing, but now it's like I do everything.
So I do want to ask about that, because I kind of want to go way back, and then we can get maybe more to what you're doing now.
Yeah.
But I read in your bio that you started out with just like in college, or was it maybe before then?
It was a little before then. It was
Before
like
then?
actually. Yeah, it was pretty much in college though.
Like you kind of just bought a program and a mic, like a basic mic, it sounded like, and you just went with it and started creating music. Now tell us about what that journey was like and how it ended up with you opening up for major hip hop artists.
Yeah. Well, okay, so if we want to take it way back, let's go with the T-Pain app. You remember the I Am T-Pain app?
No.
Maybe not? Oh, okay.
No.
But if you don't know.
We're not cool. So
No.
Ryan and I are not cool like you are.
Well, the I Am T-Pain app is an app where you get to like pretty much use autotune. And it's basically where like you can...
Because T-Pain is known for just straight up autotune, even though Homeboy can sing. Like, we know he can sing.
The Masked Singer?
Oh yeah, he won that, right?
He won that.
Oh, I didn't see that, but I just saw his back. Like he had did a video that it was just him singing, and he could reach like vocals like no other. But anyway, yes, he's known for autotune basically.
Well, he's not, and people got it wrong. I just want to clear things up. With autotune, you have to know how to sing, at least a little bit.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You still have to hit the notes.
Yes.
So I couldn't just record something.
No,
completely change it.
Thank you for saying no. I'm not a very good singer. Okay.
Me either. But anyway, so I started with the I Am T-Pain app. It's where you can record your vocals, and I was like, man, this is cool. Me and my buddy, we were driving one time, and he's like, hey, I got this beat. Let's try to use the I Am T-Pain app to sing over it and stuff. And I was like, cool, let's do it. And I just loved it. And then I decided, I was like, okay, I want to take this to another, a whole new level. So I ended up buying a little computer. Actually, I used my computer for college, which it was funny because I had like music software and then all the homework documents and whatnot. I was like, okay, cool.
Deleted the homework to make more room for the
kind of like
side.
two different paths here that you can go right
I
now.
actually did. It was crazy. But yeah, I started doing that. Bought the cheapest mic out there because I was in college, and I wasn't good, like at all. Like it was actually really bad, but it was fun. Like just figuring everything out. But as an artist, I wanted to be an artist. But as an artist, you need to find a beat or an instrumental, and you have to figure out like how everything works, and that process was very difficult. And YouTube was like poppin' back then, but not as poppin' it is now. Like everybody searches on YouTube like how to do stuff.
You can learn anything through YouTube now. And I actually read that you learn a lot of these things about your career right now and these skill sets through YouTube.
Yeah, that's exactly how I learned everything I do now. But yeah, I had to like comb through a ton of like a lot of videos just to figure out how to record in a certain program or software, and it was difficult and just trying to figure everything out. But yeah, and then I slowly became a producer or I should say like just making instrumentals, you know, figure out how to make instrumentals so I can actually record over them. And
can you tell us, so for me, I love music, but I don't know all the differences between the different kinds of producers, because there's like the financial producers, I think, that just backs up a project, and then there's what you do, which is audio engineering, and then there's like making actual beats, which is also something you do. Is there differences between all the different producers? And
yeah, I mean, in the hip hop world or in the R&B world, a producer typically means the man behind the beat, like or the person behind the beat, and it's basically just making a beat from scratch, or like the instrumental portions of it, because I feel like a producer, when you make an instrumental, it's gonna stick to just the instrumental portion, like just the beat part. Some people call artists producers too, but I feel like that's just a separate separate thing, if you will. But yeah, that's the difference is I don't really know the differences between a financial producer or like an audio producer, but I just know a producer is the man behind the beat. So
sure, and that's kind of what you do.
Yeah, a little bit.
So what would you say your area of expertise is for kind of, because I kind of learned this, I did a little bit of research. I mean, that it wasn't really that prevalent of a thing to have vocal production, I guess, like kind of what you do now, the presets and things, until the hip hop world brought that to the mainstream. And now it's like country and other people use that. What would you say your area of expertise is, and what is it that you're really passionate about?
Well, when I started out, it was producing. Like I wanted to be, that's why I was Beats by Key, because I was only solely making beats. But then I slowly noticed that I was better at vocal presets, or like mixing vocals. Because I worked with like multiple different artists, and I always had to be the one like mixing and mastering it, or making it sound good. That's when I refer to mixing and mastering, it's just like making vocals or the whole song sound
like
good.
Enhancing it.
Yeah, making it radio ready. Like if you listen to the song, it's like the final product, you know? But yeah, I just ended up doing that. And so that's why I would say I'm more like audio engineering now. So that's why I changed it to Key WAV, because I'm no longer.
You can do our intro then.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We will hire you for that, because actually that was something that I really wanted, was a hip hop beat.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you back then when we started out this podcast, but man, I'm gonna hire you for that, because I want just something really original, something really fresh. And I've been listening to a lot of your instrumentals and things like that too.
Yeah.
So
cool.
You mentioned that you work with other artists. And I see that you helped produce an album for, I think it was a band.
Yeah, it was probably I produced a couple of them, but you probably saw Doug Hills. He's Doug Danger now. Sorry, Doug. But,
so many name switches.
I know, there's so many names crazy, but yeah.
How is that process like? Like, do you have a criteria before you work with an artist, or how does that come about?
No criteria. It's just a lot of work. It's hours and hours of work just putting into this. There's a lot of tracks that we start, you know, basically the process is like, you know, I only work with Doug right now, but basically you start from scratch. You know, you got the instrumental. If they like it, then they're like writing lyrics to it. So, you know, they'll just be sitting there writing lyrics while I build out this beat. And now I can build a beat in like 20 minutes or so. But back then it was a lot harder, because you had to know the structure and how to do everything. But basically, if he likes it, then he starts singing on it, and then we start just building this song.
It's really a collaborative.
It's a huge collaborative part, yeah. Working together is much better than working as a solo artist or like a solo engineer. Like, just because, I don't know, you just feed off the energy of other people, and like, you know, you just get compliments left and right and you just feed off of that, and then you're just like, all right, let's go,
Yeah.
you know? So
It's like energy that you probably couldn't get if you were like by yourself creating something.
yeah.
So does the artist usually come to you with like a vision of what they want, or are they kind of depending on you to come up with something that they can really work with?
I'd say it's both. Usually, I mean, me and Doug's been like friends since college, and
So you know him pretty well. Then,
yeah,
too.
yeah,
Kind of
we've
what he
been-
might be looking for, his vision.
Yep. So we understand each other pretty well, and so sometimes he has ideas, and we get ideas from other like songs or artists, and they're like, oh yeah, this is, or he's like, you know, we should throw this in there, and like, you know, his thing is like just ominous, weird, abstract sounds, which I like though. It's super cool. And it's just kind of different from what every hip hop artist is doing. He wants to keep those like, you know, some of the drums per se, or like, you know, some of the instrumentals inside of that song, but make it his own, which every artist kind of wants to do that. But yeah.
But then they get a little piece of like what you would provide them too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because do you think you have a signature sound?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I would like to say that. Really, if I'm being honest, I just go through and hear every sound, and if I like it, I put it in there. I don't think it's signature. I think it's just like,
It's like an organic process.
yeah,
it
it's
sounds
just,
like.
yeah, it's just really clean, I guess. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So kind of going back to like when you first started, you started out kind of just, you know, with this software that you had purchased in college.
Yeah.
And then I saw that you ended up just opening up for these huge hip hop artists. How did that happen?
So before Doug, it was Ricky. His name is Ricky Collins. He goes by the name of Starbound. And he's the most aggressive artist I know. He like, for example, when I first met him, we both worked at Best Buy together when I was in college, and
Hashtag Best Buy.
Hey, but yeah, so he was like saying how he opened up for Trey Songz, and he opened up for like all these people, and I was just like, that's cool, you know. And I was like, hey, I'm a producer. Let's link up, and we did, and we ended up making a whole album together, and it was pretty dope. But he knew like how to get these artists to open for you. It basically just costs money. Like that's, if you want an artist to come to a town or a city or a state, you just
There's a
gotta
price
pay.
tag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You just gotta talk to their manager, and hopefully they're going on tour or something. And just, you know, we brought Kid Ink to Eau Claire in college, and that's how we were able to open for him. So like
I see.
it wasn't, I mean, like, I know some people think like, oh yeah, you just gotta contact them and then you're gonna open for them. But really, we were literally the project managers behind all that.
So you had to pay for it.
Oh, we had to pay for it.
And
yeah.
a lot of work, it sounds like too.
Yeah, it was a lot of work. Yeah, it was crazy. But he knew the ins and outs, and he pretty much just did everything, and I was just kind of behind everything.
So
too.
how did that go?
Opening up for him?
Yeah.
Or like, it was cool. It was my first show. It was like, man, I was so swaggy back then, you know? It was
Wait, define swaggy.
I should show you. Yeah, I should show you a picture of what I looked like. But I had my
We'll
hair.
post it up right now.
Yeah, right. But I had like these cool haircuts, like the side of my head was shaved, but like these designs were in it and stuff. And yeah, I mean, it was cool. It was cool back then, but
Yeah.
not anymore right now. So
Well, I haven't seen it yet. It might be
Yeah.
actually really cool right now.
right.
So
Yeah.
So how nervous were you when you first went on stage?
I was really nervous,
Yeah.
man. Like, it was Kid Ink, and it was right when Show Me started taking off, that song. He just had a song with Chris Brown, Kid Ink and Chris Brown, and I was like, oh man. And I remember like looking out there in Zorn Arena, and I was like, there's like 1,000 of people plus there.
That's
and I was
unreal.
like, oh, this is weird.
That'd be crazy.
And yeah, I was literally I had to like go on stage and hype everybody up, and
That's
it
where the
was-
swag comes in.
That's
you
right,
are a
right.
hype man, though.
Yeah.
I think
I mean, well,
naturally.
yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, I guess, but it was nerve-wracking at first. But when I like actually got up there and just started like doing my thing, just saying, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" You know, it just came like natural, I guess,
naturally?
and it
It's
was
that natural adrenaline and that rush,
Oh,
probably,
man.
right? Because you know
Yeah.
you're meant to be there.
I guess. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, Yeah, it was fun though. I mean, I just did my thing, and then everybody got super hyped. I think everybody like at a show, like I think everybody just wants to have fun. So I just had fun, and everybody understood that, and they were like, "Cool, let's go." So yeah,
like you said earlier, you feed off each other's energy.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's awesome actually. But yeah, I want to do that more. But now I found something like that I like more, which is like just being a YouTube artist and or / producer or whatever. And I mean, it was fun though. I had fun, but the traveling parts of it and like just know like you gotta, it's a grind to do that, and it's like, ooh,
it's a lot of energy. And now you're married, you probably couldn't just go on tour and stuff like that.
No.
So yeah, about your YouTube. So one of the things that was really interesting to me was when you first started, how you learned everything through YouTube, and now you are doing tutorials for individuals on YouTube. And man, you've got a following. Like you've got, I think at this point, like almost 21,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
Tell us how that started.
Man, it's so funny. I just started because there wasn't a tutorial that I wanted to learn out there. And I was like, man, I should just put a tutorial out there. And I was like, the first video I've done was like how to record in FL Studio, which is FL Studio is just, it's a DAW or a music software where you can create all instrumentals and whatnot. And the sole problem with FL Studio is you can't record vocals, or you can, but not a lot of people know how to. And I knew how to because I've been doing it with Doug and Ricky all this time. So I was like, I'm just gonna put it out there. And people really, like, right when I put it out there, it started to get, like, I think it got like 1,000 views, like within 2 days.
So clearly there was a need out there too.
Yeah,
people
I
were
was
looking
like,
for that.
Man. And then people commented, and they were like, this is really helpful. So thank you. You should do more videos like this. And I was like, okay, yeah, I think I know some stuff, but yeah. And then
so how long ago was that you started YouTube then?
a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
I was still at my corporate job at that time. Well, no, it was like, it was 2017, October.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You really grew your audience.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, it's pretty nuts. But yeah, that's when I started, and that's it. Sorry. I was thinking.
So with like your YouTube, I remember when we had this conversation, you started out, obviously there was a need and you did these videos, and now you're like, I really want to focus a lot on the quality of the content versus how often I post.
Yeah.
What does that grind look like being a YouTuber? And are there struggles that you had that you wish you would have done differently, or how has that been for you?
Oh man, it's a big struggle because like putting out quality content, first of all, you need the gear. You need like a nice camera, which costs a lot of money, and you need, you need to know your audience or what you want to do for them. And not to mention, you have to edit it. You have to edit these videos. These videos are really high quality, so you need a nicer computer. And it just starts getting to be a lot.
Snowball.
Oh man, it's a crazy, So when I started doing that though, I noticed like a decrease in how consistent I was into putting out videos. Or like, because I if you look, it was like very steady, and I didn't care about like the quality of it. I just kind of put the videos out there. Just have
content out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
to stay like on time, I guess, and relevant in the YouTube world.
Yeah. Because in the YouTube world, you need to put out videos like consistently. Yeah. Otherwise, your subscribers will go down, all this other stuff, but that's false. But anyway, the quality of the content got better. The time of when I uploaded them got worse. And
I see.
And then I started like, I don't know, I think I became a perfectionist. So I was like, I'm not going to put it out there. I got to redo this video now. And it's just like,
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure I put it on myself. And at the time I was working at home, and my wife and I were cool and everything, but she likes to like clean and stuff, and like she's like vacuuming.
Hey, shout out to your wife.
Shout out to my wife, man. She's doing her thing. Yeah, she's a neat freak for sure. And like little things like oh, I got this idea that sparked, and I just got done eating, and I put the dishes in the sink. So like but I have to wash the dishes first. And,
Right.
you know.
So it's like a lot of distractions.
It's a lot of
and stuff like
distractions.
that.
Yeah, a lot of distractions. And she knew that, and I knew that. So that's why I ended up getting this studio, and it's been a whole lot better.
Yeah. Because your older videos were from home then? You
Yeah.
shot them from home? Okay. I couldn't tell where you were
Yeah.
from that, but
Yeah, the quality of the content.
there you go. There you go. So as far as like, you know, YouTube goes, since we're talking about that now, are you doing the YouTube part as like a side hobby? Because I know you have a full-time job here at Ivy as well. Or is it something that you really want to scale and grow?
The full-time job is my YouTube.
Oh, it
that's-
is? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I do, and that it's been like, well, it's been better here. My hobby is actually more or less like just having fun outdoors, like, you know, playing basketball and all that stuff. And,
Yeah.
But
Enjoying
yeah,
life.
yeah. But I would like to like I've been focusing more on YouTube content because I sell a lot of digital goods like the vocal presets.
Sure.
On my website, and that's where
And
I get
beats too, right?
Yeah,
You
and
sell them?
beats.
Yep.
Yep. And that's on my website, so I get, you know, the majority of my revenue comes from the website, but my YouTube gets them there. Like that's kind of how it
That's
works.
true.
Yeah, and so that's why I want to focus more on YouTube, just so I can actually like get more people on my website. The more people that go to my website, obviously, the more sales I get. Yada yada.
Right. Okay.
So.
Yeah, and I think that that's so different from. So YouTube wasn't really like a form of revenue, and
Right.
when it first started,
Yeah.
but now you can really you can promote yourself well through YouTube, and you can
Yeah.
really make a lot of money through YouTube based off subscribers and views and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of advice would you give to somebody who wanted to start their own YouTube, whether it's for music or for anything else? I mean, what was that hustle like?
I think you just got to do it. Like that would be my biggest advice. There's a lot of like questions in your head saying like if I should put it out there, if there's even, you know, there's a lot of doubts. There's self-doubts like, oh, there's videos out there already.
Is anybody
There's-
gonna watch
Yeah,
this?
is anybody gonna watch this really? You know, you never know. But once you like put it out there, then you're solid. But another tip that I would say is just make sure it's not about you. Like I know like a lot of people like to rant, unless you're doing vlogs, then do your thing. But like if you are doing like helpful videos, make sure you get to the point quick. Like in a lot of my old videos, I'm sitting here talking to the camera and I'm just saying
Don't you
all
think
these.
that that's how people grow their views too, though, is when they really get to know the YouTuber? Or
Yeah, a little bit.
yeah.
Yes, to a certain extent, yes, I feel that way. But there is, I feel, a time limit,
Sure.
unspoken. Like you don't, I mean, it doesn't say like you can only talk for 2 minutes about yourself and then, you know, but.
People click because they want to know how to sound like Post Malone.
Yeah, right. I want to know how to sound like Post
How do
Malone.
I
don't
sound
really
like Justin
care.
Bieber?
Yeah.
And hurry up.
And hurry up, get to the point quick. No, I mean, but it just has to be helpful. And I used to listen to a lot of audiobooks that said that. Like I think Brennan Burchard, Highly Effective People, I think it's called, or something.
7 Habits.
Yes,
of Highly Effective People.
Yep. Basically, he talked about like how you have to know your audience and understand that it's not about you, it's about them. You're trying to help them.
Sure.
And once they establish a trust between you two, then they'll hit subscribe or they'll comment or whatever you want them to do. And that's one thing I definitely didn't understand when I first uploaded.
I don't think that that's something that many people understand. Like even just me starting this podcast, like I just did it because I was like, oh, this is so much fun. I just want it to be a side thing that's like really fun. And then now even just, it's only been like 3 months and just all these different elements of just creating content.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I'm like a YouTuber, but I have content out on YouTube. It's a different game from like even Facebook.
Yeah.
You know,
oh,
like I get
man.
most of my views and followers and stuff like that through Facebook and not YouTube. And so it's a tricky thing because it is now like that business side of things instead of just the creative art side of you. So
Yeah, it's difficult. You really, I mean, just editing, just little things like editing
I
makes a
hired
big
for
difference.
that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's nuts though. The whole YouTube game is crazy. It keeps evolving. You have to honestly, you have to watch different YouTubers,
different trends.
different
and things.
trends, and you just got to keep up with that stuff.
That's
nuts.
probably like a really fun hustle anyway, though. Like even
Yeah.
if it's challenging, like just to be able to know that you can create really good content that you're proud of.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be there historically, going
Yep.
to be there, and how you can see yourself evolve over time. So
Yeah,
that's awesome.
exactly. Yeah, and that's the way I look at it actually. Like everything I put out there, I get to look back and just be like, oh yeah, you know. And when I have kids, I'm gonna be like, check this out.
Hey, check this out.
Yeah.
Your dad's really famous because of you.
Yeah, right. No, but it's crazy though. It's YouTube's from.
So you said you're a perfectionist. Do you ever go back and like re-edit or rechange or add anything to old videos?
No, I don't. No, I actually watch it and I'm like, this is embarrassing a little bit.
It's a little cringy.
Yeah, it's very cringy.
I feel that way a lot.
Yeah, the one video, I guess my most like popular video on YouTube right now, that has a lot of views.
Hey, what's up guys? My name is Key P with beatsbykey.net, and in today's tutorial, I'm gonna be showing you how you can set up your mic in FL Studio. Let's get into it.
I look back at that and I'm like, oh, why does it have so many views? And like,
Always your harshest critic.
yeah, I
Your
know.
own harshest.
Yeah. Nowadays, my wife is. No, okay.
Shout out to that wife.
Hey, no, she does her thing though. She really does tell me like, I let her watch my videos before I upload them.
Yeah.
And she does. She goes through and she's like, you know, hey, you should probably change this up because it's pointless. And I'm like, okay, good call. Yeah.
See, it's good to have people like that too, because like my
big
husband
time.
will watch my stuff before I post it also, and tell me like, oh, like there's parts of podcast episodes that I'm like, this is so cool. They might want to know X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
about this person,
Yep.
and he's like, no, I don't think that is something that is interesting
Right.
to everyone. Like it might be interesting to you guys, but not everyone. So I have to cut that out. And it is nice to have somebody who's going to be really real and raw with you
100%.
before you upload. So
Oh, yeah.
it's good.
I need that, yeah.
Yeah.
And even your YouTube comments, like even though people are very harsh on YouTube, like they can be, there's truth in everything they say. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I've had a handful of people say like, you talk too much in this, and I'm like, at first I'm like, you know, I'm sensitive. At first I'm like, dude, whatever, you don't know this. Then I start thinking about it. And
You
then
get
I'm like,
defensive first.
yeah, yeah. I never wrote back. I never write back because
Yeah.
this is a business. You don't, you know, you don't want to
Go to
act
war
out.
with,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I try to make sure I'm, you know, I do understand customer service and I do understand it's a business. So maybe I lash out, but just not at them. I just lash out in my, you know,
At home.
Yeah, at home. Sorry, wife, but no, I can't. I just mess with it. But yeah.
But you're saying there's still a nugget of truth as to what they're saying. So you still take that and flip it into a positive thing.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of times where I'm just like, oh, you know what? They do have a point. It was mean what they said, but they have a point. So.
Yeah. Jerks. Trolls do have a point, I guess, at the end of the day.
They
right?
really do. I mean, you know, but you can distinguish like haters versus like helpful comments,
Yeah.
I guess. You know, there's people that just hate on you because you're you.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay.
And there's people who are just maybe harsh in what they're saying, but it's
Right.
actual constructive criticism.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah.
All right, so I was watching some of your videos and I was kind of thinking about maybe like someone who's listening who's kind of like an old school type person who thinks maybe music nowadays is overproduced and over electronic and it's
yeah.
all, you know, it's just a computer, like it doesn't even take any talent. What would you say to someone who says something like that?
I'd say they're right. No, it's a different ball game.
Yeah, sure.
Like people today don't necessarily, at least for hip hop, they don't necessarily care about if you can play a violin or if you can play classical instruments. It's just a lot of 808s and drums and digital, and that's literally, if you can do that well, then great. I mean, it's I don't know, it's hard to say because I do that, so
Yeah.
I want to like, but would I like to be classically trained? Yes, that would be so cool. I would love to play the keyboard, but I can't. I only know how to do what I do.
Well, and it takes a lot of skill to do that side
Yeah.
of things too. So it's not
Right.
like, it's just a different skill.
Yeah,
rather than,
yeah, exactly. I mean, there's skill in everything that you do,
Right.
and I feel like doing digital music is still a skill. Maybe it's not as, I don't know.
Like traditional,
Yeah.
like the way people would think of it, like having to pick up an instrument where you know and just record it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's just like you said, it's just a different skill.
Sure.
And there are people too, I was watching one of your tutorials, And I remembered a couple weeks ago when you're like, hey, you want to check this out? And it was your latest video on Justin Bieber, how to sound like Justin Bieber, and how you record an original. And I actually do think you're a really good singer, by the way. But like, you can record somebody's voice and change it to such an extent in which it sounds so legit. And not trying to hate, but like even just Selena Gomez, for instance, like she does perform okay live, and I'm sure she's got a really good voice, but her recorded sound is impeccable. You know, so like to be able to bring something that is I wouldn't say average, but it's just something that, like, you know, maybe you're not really good at these types of vocal ranges, and be able to make that sound really, really great is still a talent and is still a skill set. It's
kind of weird because just like you said, you can be an average singer. I do feel like, and I'm not fishing for compliments or anything like that.
I think you're a really good singer, though.
No, but I'm okay. That's the thing. Like, I feel like I'm okay, but I could still like mix and master the song. It's all about mixing and mastering the song. It really comes down to that. How to use autotune, how to use it properly, and how to like make sure the notes are like, because nowadays you can record into a computer and you can adjust the vocals the way you want to. Yeah. Because there's times where I record, even my latest video, I put a video out there like showing raw vocals of how I sound, and I was cringing. I was like, oh, I don't know if I should put this in here. I was like, oh man. But the final sound, that's what people like, and that's what I'm trying to show them. Like, I'm just trying to help artists in that sense, because you can be a good like artist without having the best voice, if that makes sense. And it just takes mixing and mastering at the end of the day.
I mean, we were just talking about this beforehand, but like The Weeknd, you did one on how to sound like The Weeknd.
Yeah.
I claimed you so proud and openly, and when times were rough.
But anyway, so he sounds amazing recorded, and that's with all the mixing and mastering. But then he goes on stage where it's live and he still kills it. You know, there's not many artists like that, would you say? And
no, especially in the hip hop world. Like the people that sing, they need a lot of autotune, and it's difficult because The Weeknd is a great example. But like you said, Selena, you know, some just Kehlani, she's super dope. I love her as an artist. Her swag is awesome. Her appeal, everything is sweet. But like my wife saw her on stage and she wasn't quite hitting the notes. It was kind of flat and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, but her records just sound perfect.
Right.
And it just comes down to the mixing and mastering of everything. So it's like,
so I weird. Just need that in my life.
Yeah, right. No, I'm telling you, like all these artists that are so shy to like get on the mic, you're probably better than half these people that are big.
Yeah.
You just don't know. It just comes down to the mixing and mastering.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they can apply sort of a level of that live too, can't they? Like a level of
of autotune or like pitch correction. They do that nowadays. Like Post Malone, he can sing, but he is flat a couple times, and he even said that he's not really a singer. He can just kind of hit a vibrato note and sound like a goat or something. That's what he said.
Encouraging words by Post Malone.
Right. Dude, he's funny. But yeah, even on stage, he uses a lot of autotune, and there's a lot of ways to go about that, but it's still pretty hard to hit those notes even on stage. That's why I personally, one of the reasons why I don't want to be an artist is to perform live. Yeah. I'm not a live artist. I don't even, like when friends go out for karaoke, I'm like, cool, let's go, but I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna go up there.
You wouldn't even karaoke, huh?
I wouldn't even karaoke, no. But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because I remembered when, because I didn't know that it was you and you were playing this song, and I was like, oh my gosh, sounds so good. But it was one of the vocal presets you did, right? Or did you just like mix it and stuff?
Yeah, I do that. I use my own voice in almost like 90%.
Like how to sound like
how to sound
X,
like
Y,
that's
Z. Yeah.
That's what made my website pop, is how to sound like a certain person. You'd be surprised why you would want to sound like a certain person. I don't know. I think you as an artist would want to be like your own unique person. But now I realized, like, well, people want to sound like a certain somebody so they can make it their own. Like,
right.
You know, and so when I understood that, I was like, I'm gonna be sounding like everybody out here. It's like
No, but artists do that though,
Yeah.
right? Like, am I wrong? If they come to a producer, if they go somewhere and say like, can you help mix or produce my music? This is kind of who I want to sound like, so that you have kind of an end goal of what it is. It could be like Nirvana or somebody,
Yeah.
or it could be, you know, Beyonce or somebody, but you do need to kind of have like an end goal of what you might want to sound like, right?
Exactly. And you'd be surprised. A lot of people that I mix and master songs for, they always say, I want to sound like Drake, or I want to sound like this person, make me sound like that, but then add a certain something that makes it different.
Yeah. So you can make me sound like The Weeknd. Is what you're
Sure.
saying.
I got my vocal preset on Key
Yes.
WAV.
Okay. Wait, plug that in.
Yeah, right.
So you mentioned you read 7 Habits.
Yep.
Do you do other reading?
Yeah, that's actually what made me quit my corporate job
really?
back in the day when I got my degree in
What was it? What
marketing.
book?
I didn't read a lot. I just listened to audiobooks, and 7 Habits was one. Millionaire Success Habits, The Third Door. We got Rich Dad Poor Dad. Can't believe I left that out.
That's
Rich
a big
Dad
one.
Poor Dad is like, that's the reason why I quit, man. It was like, man, Gary Vaynerchuk, crushing it.
Gary's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He swears a lot, but
Yeah, he does. But that's his brand.
People who
That's what he
swear
does.
though are really smart, by the way.
Is that? Oh, okay.
It's
I didn't know.
true.
Yeah.
Really?
And
There was a
honest,
psychological, like they're if people who swear a lot are usually higher in intelligence level when they do tests and things like that.
For real?
And they have high integrity. Like they're really honest people.
because they can't filter it. It just spills out.
Yeah.
Spills out. Oh,
They're not trying to stop anything from coming out.
well, I didn't know
So the
that.
rest of this podcast is just gonna be a swear.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to curb where we were going. I actually was going somewhere. If you have read or heard of, there's a book called Steal Like an Artist. I forget who it's by right now, but it kind of ties into that, where he goes through a lot of history and explains that artists actually are always influenced by someone else. You can't not be influenced by someone, but you you always take parts and pieces and you sort of put your own spin on it. So I don't think it's a bad thing.
No, right. I didn't read that book, but yeah, that makes
It's
sense.
very
It
true,
makes
though.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean, just based off of what I've done, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's cool. I should probably read that.
Very good.
Yeah.
We're gonna all read that now.
Mm-hmm.
Put a link there.
Mm-hmm.
We got Key WAV.
Okay, so I had asked you, and I've known you for a little bit here, and we talk here and there, but I was like, I need to actually get to know you. So I sent you this questionnaire.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I already kind of picked up because I was watching some of your YouTube content was that you're a huge anime fan.
Yeah.
So, and it was also your birthday a couple weeks ago. So I did end up getting you something.
Yeah.
So do you want to grab it? I'm talking to the cameraman. Open it.
Are
We
you
talked
serious?
about this too.
Oh man, it's my birthday all over. Woo. Gogeta.
I don't even know who
That's
is.
Gogeta right there. That's so sick. That is awesome. And you got me a mug?
Yup, and it's the heat activated mug.
We were talking about
Yeah,
this. This is crazy.
I swear to you. So this mug, and I got two of them, so I'm giving you one of them. But this was like years and years ago. There was
Yeah.
a viral video that went
Yeah.
out. And it was like millions of views when you put like obviously something hot in
Yeah,
there. It's heat activated.
yeah.
He turns into a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So I got one for my husband because he's a huge DBZ fan also. And there was
awesome.
two left.
Shout out to your husband.
Yeah, Garrett Waldinger. But I got him one and he loves it. He just doesn't
Yeah.
drink a lot of hot stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to give you the other one because you would actually
Dang.
do something with it, I think.
Dude,
So happy birthday.
thank you so much. This is awesome. This is great. I love it. I'm going to be using this like every day.
Every day.
Like literally. This is so great.
Can't drink your
Man.
whiskey out of there unless you
Put
heat
this
it,
on my
though.
keys right away too. Yeah, I can't.
So happy birthday.
Well, thank you so much. This is awesome. What a great surprise. This is cool. I'm definitely going to be using this.
So
Thanks, bro.
we'll cut that part out. Okay, so some of the other passions and hobbies that you enjoy. So you really like to just do sports and
Yeah.
be outside and hang out with your wife.
Mm-hmm.
How does your wife take your YouTube life and your career? Is she pretty supportive about all that, or what does she think about you leaving your corporate job?
Oh man. Here's a funny story. So we just got married in July 2017. I just told you.
Yep.
Yeah.
July 2017. In February of 2018, I quit my job. And I came home and I said, hey, Katrina, by the way, I quit my job and I have 2 more weeks. She's like, okay. And I just sprung it up on her and she had no idea. And then she's like, well, what's your backup plan? I said, oh, YouTube. I was like, oh. And she's the type of person to like not freak out right away, which is cool.
Yeah.
But she definitely was a little worried, which anybody should be. Because before doing this full time, I was selling beats, but it wasn't like consistent. It really wasn't going anywhere to be real.
Yeah.
And I said, dude, I'm gonna do this because I was listening to Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I was listening to all these audiobooks and
Just jacked up.
Oh, I was pumped. I can't believe I quit like that though. I look back now, I don't recommend it. There's so much more to it than just.
So not advice you give to somebody else.
I mean, if you listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, he just fires you up, and he's like, but no, it was at first it wasn't a good idea, but it turned out to be a good idea, and she did like it. At first she didn't, but now she loves it. She's like, she's all about it, and she's like, just start with one video and go from there. And her parents did not like it either though, because we just got married. And they were not excited. Her brother wasn't excited. Nobody was excited about this. And so I was getting all this like.
You really chased your dream though. Like you knew this is where you needed to be.
Well, I was like, man, I'm 27, 28. Like, if I'm not gonna do it, when am I gonna do it? I have no kids. I have no like big responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like, I just gotta try this. I just gotta do it and see where it goes. I have some savings. I'll just use that for bills. She was happy about that too. Not really, but yeah.
So we're gonna quit our job then.
Yeah.
Ryan's face.
Wait, what?
I think you have a totally different philosophy about.
Oh yeah, absolute security. Like pile up as much money as you can.
Yeah, that's how she
cash
is.
it in, turn it into gold bars, bury it in the backyard.
Yeah, I like that.
Ryan's wife and also my friend Jess is in the room, and she is definitely laughing about that.
No, it's so cool. I definitely don't recommend it just because like taxes is huge.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have a house, it's gonna take a while to get a house now and stuff like that. And I don't know, there's bigger things out there that I just did not think about. We can go on.
But no regrets though, right? Because one of the things that I asked you also is, how would people describe you and what would you want to be known for? And it was basically just being an honest, caring, fun-loving person. And this allows you to be creative and still be that and not be miserable at a job that you don't want to be at every day. Yeah,
I really was. And it was kind of like, I was in sales, so it was very cutthroat. It was very like, you got to hit a goal. And that's one of the things, like, I don't like goals just because when I was at that job, every time you hit that goal, there's always a bigger one. You always have to hit this other one. And I just burnt out so quick. I was like, this is not meant for me. I don't like sales, like in this sense. And like,
but I think you could sell if it's something you really love and passionate about, obviously you can sell what you're doing, but whatever it is that you were selling wasn't what your interest was in.
It was like servers for big retail companies. Like, I don't care.
There's probably somebody out there that's like, ooh, servers, I love it. But definitely not for you.
No, definitely not for me.
And I imagine like jumping in with both feet like that, just quitting without a plan actually helped to encourage you and give you the push you needed to.
Like no plan B, right?
Right.
Yeah, there was no plan B. It was all in. And I mean, you hear all these books saying if you're going to do it, just go all in. You need that full-time thing. But
go big or go home. Right?
Yeah. Well, it was funny too because when I went all in, I was going to originally do this to sell beats. And then I for some reason made a tutorial. It was like how to sound like Tory Lanez or something. I think.
How to sound like what?
Tory Lanez, like the hip hop. Tory Lanez.
I thought you said tortellini.
Yeah, tortellini.
Okay.
How to sound like tortellinis. But
any kind of pasta really.
How does sound like spaghetti today?
No, but when I made that, I ended up using my vocals over a beat, and I originally wanted to sell the beat, but people wanted the vocals. So I was like, I'll just make a vocal preset for it, that's cool. People asked for it, so I did it. And I remember getting that one sale. I was like, oh man, this is sick.
I
I made it, dude. Hey, where's my wife? Hey, you can go out. Let's go out to eat. Where do you want to go?
Any pasta
place.
you want.
She wanted Olive Garden.
Of course.
I was like, let's try McDonald's first. This is only like $15. No, but yeah, it was a really good feeling. And then it consistently got more and more, and I was just like, whoa, okay, vocal presets is where it's at.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now you can do Olive Garden.
Now we can do
Olive Garden
Yep.
every Tuesday.
Yeah. Only if they have sales though.
Yeah, a coupon.
Yeah.
So like one of the other things that I had asked you about was like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, and how do you want this particular business to grow? And I know that wasn't really something you just literally told me you're not interested in goals, right? But what is the ultimate moment where you're like, I made it. I did really well. I mean, I personally look at your YouTube channel and I look at what you're doing, and it's awesome. You got a huge following, and you obviously have content that you're making revenue from. When is that moment going to be, or if you hit it already, that I made it, I'm good, this is where I need to be?
Yeah, I'm actually comfortable right now. Like it's very nice just doing what I do. Did I make it? No. Because there's obviously like things that my wife and I want to do. We want to get a house. We want to, go on vacations and all that stuff. But I don't know where I'm at now. I'm making more than I was at a corporate job, and I have the opportunity to make as much as I want because I figured it out. Like it's when you figure it out, it's like you can do whatever you want, and it's pretty nuts. But like there's just different like streams of revenues that I'd never hit yet, and that's what I'm interested in. I want to find like different ways to make money in this music industry or in anything. You can make a lot of money doing whatever you want to do if you're smart about it and if you do it the right way. So I guess that's kind of like my goal, if you will. Like that's my money goal, I guess.
Yeah.
So my business goal. It's not like my true passion, or I mean like what I want to do with my wife and family and all that stuff. But business-wise, that's what I would like to do. Just keep doing what I'm doing, but grow with the trends and continue to just keep hitting that.
And challenge yourself to as those trends grow.
Be the best I can do, make every opportunity, or just try to make everything, I don't know. That's just what I want to do.
Just like do what
grow.
is interesting to you and still have fun and be able to make money to be comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm figuring out the tax thing a lot more now, being self-employed.
There's definitely a huge element of the business side of things too that I didn't even. So I'm currently in business classes now. Actually across the way at Collab. Yeah. And there's so many things that I didn't consider, like even just something like a podcast that I thought would be just fun to do. But it's like, nope, you need to have like all these legal things because what if somebody isn't, like, they may sue you if this and this and that happens. And you should have a banker because you need to have a business account. And there's all these different things that I learned that I'm sure anyone who's a startup probably didn't quite know to the extent in which they were getting themselves into. Because you are fueled by passion and you're fueled by your art and the creative side of you. And then the business part does come. Like, you have to do those things too. What was the most difficult thing for you, aside from the tax thing, that you found out with just being a full-time YouTuber and doing content for Ivy?
Yeah, I mean, it's the biggest thing was obviously taxes, and then also becoming an LLC. That's fairly easy, but if you don't know, how are you supposed to know? Like, nobody tells you that in business school or anything.
But you don't learn that like in regular school too.
Right.
Like in high school and stuff. If you want to start business, what you do. So that's like where you have to kind of seek out that content, like learn more about that.
Yeah, that was probably one of my biggest in legal stuff. Oh my God, I got a D- in college for legal class. It was like horrible. I did not understand anything.
Yeah.
All these
laws, like what are laws?
Yeah, exactly. What is that?
Yeah, what is that? And then I think there's like insurance, like all these other things that goes into it. It's pretty crazy. But I guess on just to kind of end today's session, what advice would you give to somebody who is in a job that they're not happy in and they want to do something more creative and more music based, especially here in the Eau Claire area, which we are fortunate here in Eau Claire that there's like a huge music following, and our culture here in Eau Claire is very like arts and music, whereas maybe in other cities there isn't that. But what would you say to somebody who wants to do something that's similar to you maybe like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
That's a hard one because you really have to know where you are, financially, passion, like, can you see yourself do this in 5 years, and all that stuff. I would say just like question if it was right for you and then do you.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing. For me, like you said, I just did it off of passion. I quit my job and decided to go all in. And like you said, I have no regrets, but I do know some stuff now that I probably should have known before I did that. But if you really don't like your job, like I did, then it's probably the right thing to do. Just do your thing.
Yeah. Whoever is out there selling servers right now, you can be.
I'm sorry, you don't have to sell servers for the rest of your life.
You can be literally a YouTuber.
You could
make
be.
good revenue.
Yeah,
so.
there's a lot of there's a lot of possibilities out there. There's so many things out there that you can do that you can make money from that you had no idea.
It's endless now, I think, in today's world too.
Yeah, everything's online. Like,
Yep.
take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Everything's in the cloud.
Yeah. In the cloud, as you would say.
Yes.
Well, I thank you so much for being here today, and I had a lot of fun. Did you have fun, Ryan?
I had a blast.
I think we learned a lot. I'm learning now that we're gonna quit our job.
Yeah. So quit your job.
I'm gonna
Ryan's like, no way.
You got your wife right there. Tell her
Wifey's
you're
not
gonna quit now.
excited about that at all. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. What was that?
She just wants to quit first.
Right. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
But we appreciate you taking out your time and having this conversation, and that's
absolutely.
important. So thank you.
Yeah.
for
Thank
being
you
here.
guys. I really appreciate being here. It was awesome.
See you in the next one.